The viewer might not know exactly what this technical feature does, but if you frame it in a way of, you're relieving stress, that is much more compelling and it
Yeah.
will resonate a lot more.
It's more about like elevating that customer, making them the hero, and your product is their superpower, right?
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Unlocked, a podcast about growing your business through the power of video. I'm Dan West, owner and creative director at Blue Key Media, and I'm joined again today by Tori Thompson, my
Hello.
fellow team member, as we go through our 5-part video series, talking about the 5 videos every industrial and manufacturing company should be making.
Yes.
So today's episode number 2, and what are we talking about, Tori?
We're talking about service offering videos, and this is kind of a wide swath of video types. It could be your product video and expertise video, but basically it is the video that you use to showcase a product or offering from your company.
Yeah. And, if you're a product company, very straightforward.
Yeah.
You can wrap your head around it more. It's a product
Right.
video. We're talking about the product.
Yeah, if you make vacuums, it's, hey, look at our vacuum.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a service company, well, then we talk about maybe a specific expertise that you have
Right.
or a service offering you have rather than a specific product, since that service essentially is your product.
Yeah, so in the instance of maybe if it seems a little abstract for your company, you could do, we worked with a mechanical engineering company, and they did videos talking about all of their specialties, like what does their company specifically claim expertise in. So it could be the construction side, it could be the design side, and it can show their potential customers a more in-depth look at the different options they have, while in each of those individual videos getting just a little bit deeper than maybe like an overview video would.
Right. Yeah, and in our first episode, if you guys listened to that, we talked about the overview video.
Yeah.
And we emphasized not going too deep in the
Right.
overview video and making sure that it's more broad. It's more talking about the emotions and the feelings that your brand evokes rather than the technical details, the features, the products. And that's where this video comes into play because, if you follow the advice of that video, you've created a shorter, broader video that gets people's attention. And now we're getting into the nitty gritty of, all right, let's talk about our products. Let's talk about our service offerings or our expertise. So
it's that next step in the funnel, right? In that sales funnel where they're starting
the
to
consideration phase.
I'm going to consider on their website. I'm going to go check them out and see what goes deeper on there.
So that's the first do, I guess you could say, from the do's and don'ts is do create product videos and service videos that go deeper that you have omitted from your overview video.
Yeah.
Don't make a product video into the overview video and clog it up with more information than is needed or that will be consumed by somebody in one video.
Yeah. This is in this type of video, you can go a little bit deeper and talk about maybe the differentiating point of your product or your service. That being said,
we're getting into one of our don'ts.
We're getting into one of our don'ts here, which is I know we said go deep, but also don't make this a technical bullet pointed list of 100, like every single feature you have, every little tiny thing. You want to hit people with the differentiating points, the things that make your product stand out. But really what you want to focus on is what problem does it solve for the customer? Yeah,
right. And that's one of the big mistakes that a lot of companies or people make when doing marketing messages around themselves is it ends up being about themselves. They make messages that are around the company rather than around the customer and through the perspective of the customer. So you said, focus on the problems you're solving for your customer. And sure, we're talking about features and benefits that the product might have, but it needs to be framed in a way that the viewer will care about, right?
Yeah.
sure, the viewer might not know exactly what this technical feature does. It might be, a little bit over their head, but if you frame it in a way of, you're relieving stress and worries, or you never have to worry about doing this thing again because our product or service, takes that away. That is much more compelling, and it will resonate a lot more.
And it's kind of keeping it humble and not just making it all about like throwing your company's name out there. It's more about like elevating that customer, making them the hero, and your product is their superpower, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like
you
that.
Like that? I just came up with that now.
Yeah. We're going to have to use that in our own conversations with customers.
Yeah.
So what's like an ideal length for videos like this?
I think an ideal length for a video like this, you can go a little bit longer, I think, than an overview video, because at this point people are wanting to get into it. But I still think it should be probably in that like 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 5, depending on what the product is. I think anything that gets to 5 minutes is maybe getting on the long side.
Yeah, I would definitely say 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Two is better.
Yeah.
Because if it starts bleeding in longer than that, well, are we talking about one product or service, or are you trying to like hit on all of your products? Because again, we would recommend that you create a product video for each product and not every product.
Not every product, because at that point, they're not going to remember any of the products because they were overloaded with information. But if you make it for one product and talk about, those key features on that, it's going to stick a lot more, because they can look at the exact video for the exact problem they're having and see if you're the one to solve it.
Yeah, it also makes it a lot easier to use it in your own marketing materials or sales materials, rather than a salesperson sending out a long video that's covering a lot of products that specific customer doesn't necessarily care about all of them.
Yeah.
Your salesperson can send out the specific video that's answering the specific question or touching on the specific pain point of the person they're talking to. So.
Yeah, and just like on the overview video, how we said, that's the trailer for your movie, and then they can go on your website and read all about it. That's exactly like this will be the video that goes a little deeper and might go, oh, I can see that's going to solve the problems. Now, if I want to see all of the tech specs on it, well, that's on the website, or they can call a service rep and they're going to be able to give them the information that's necessary. Yeah. But like, there's more information to find, but you need to make sure that you're getting your key points out there, but not completely boring the customer or overloading them with information and little technical details.
Right. Yeah, because some customers want to know more than others, and video does not replace the other sales or marketing tools that you are doing.
Yeah. And it doesn't replace like the human touch too. Like if they give you a call, like, let your salespeople do their thing.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing to consider is how you deliver the information, because there's a lot of different approaches you can take. Some of the approaches that come to mind around product videos or service videos, interviews, hearing from people on your team. You could even, start blending like a testimonial video into a product video where you work in your customers talking about the product.
Right.
But that's where, I don't know, you can kind of, we won't go further down that route. We'll talk about testimonial videos next week.
Yep.
But you could do that. There's narration, voiceover, where you're scripting things and it's a voice of God that's leading the video versus, people from your organization.
Right. It's a little bit more controlled that way.
Mm-hmm. You might, an explainer video falls into that product and service video, like using that format can work. So there's lots of different options. Am I missing any other approaches that you can deliver the information?
I think that the approaches you can take are kind of endless based on your creativity, and especially based off your product, because there's so many types of products and services that people don't even know about. So if you're one of those like B2B companies that's selling a very specific type of product, it's going to be much different than if you're selling like baskets, right? Like,
great point.
Yeah.
Tailor the message and the way you deliver it based on your audience.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to be creative on that. But I think knowing what your audience is, knowing what you are and what type of feeling and emotion you want to continue to drive, you establish that in the overview video, and then you want to keep pushing it throughout your marketing and when people talk to you guys and everything. So I think keeping that is good. And then also, like we're going to say for everything, start meeting with your video team early and start bringing those conversations in and talking about the feelings you want to have, and allowing them to, they're going to have creative ideas too, that they like, maybe you guys can bounce ideas off each other and end on something that's really special.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned keeping that emotion feeling throughout these videos and leading with that, because even though a product or service video, your mind may go to technical or more informational, and you certainly are providing maybe more information than in an overview or other videos, but you still want emotion and tapping into the emotional cues that will drive your buyer.
Right.
You want to have those incorporated in the video, because emotion is what sells. Emotion is what moves people to take action. It's about touching the heart to move the mind, not moving the mind to touch the heart, or just focusing on the mind, because we are emotional buyers and and also very irrational. So
I mean, if you're watching the video and the person is considering getting that product, that service, and they watch the video and the emotion they feel is relief or peace of mind, that is a very good place to be.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Is there anything else that we should cover as we're talking through product videos, service videos, or have we hit it all?
I think that we will never hit it all, because there's a million ways to go with this. It's a very open style of video that can be really tailored to any industry and any kind of company and stuff like that. But I think we got a lot of the basic places where you can at least start your thought process on that. So
awesome.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for joining me again, Tori.
Absolutely.
Audience, if you have any questions that came up from this conversation, or you have additional questions that you hope we answer on the podcast, you can reach us at hello@bluekeymedia.com, or you can follow us on our social media channels at bluekeymedia.com, excuse me. But otherwise, stay tuned. There's going to be 3 more episodes talking through the testimonial video, recruiting videos, and internal and HR videos. So you don't want to miss those episodes. But thank you again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.